Hey everyone, it's Megan from Bookish Delights. In today's video, I'm going to be revisiting a video I've done back in March of 2019. And I've seen other YouTubers do this where they would revisit a TBR video or like a haul video, a book haul, or even an unhaul, and usually it's like over a year, could be like a couple years. And I decided to do this, but with my video that I done, which was called Popular Books I Own But Haven't Read Yet, and I want to see if I have read any of those books on that list since making that video. I made that video 1 year ago, and I wanted to just do one of these like a year after videos. I do have 2 videos that I posted before March. I think I posted them in like October of like 2018, but I didn't start consistently uploading until March of 2019, so I figured that the true 1 year YouTube that I've been here has been in March, so I figured this would be the perfect month to do that video. And without my rambling on, I'm going to jump right into it. I am sitting a little off to the side so that I can have a screen recording video because I don't think I have the original video anymore on my computer. I tend to not keep any of my videos once they're on YouTube, then I take them off of my computer. So I don't say that I would have this one because it's been a year, so I'm just gonna have a screen recording and have it pop up here so you can see. And I am just gonna skip like the intro, my video, and just get right into the books. So the first book I have is Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and haven't read that. I heard that it's not actually that great, but I also heard that quite a few people did. I haven't looked more into that book, Beautiful Creatures. It's still on my shelf somewhere. Actually, it's really close so I can just grab it. I posted a video a couple months ago where it was like a maybe book on haul. I believe I featured it in that in that video, and it was going to be like a try a chapter type ish thing. I haven't read the first chapter of it yet to see if I want to read it, so I'm going to make that a priority to do, considering it's been over a year since I hauled it, and it's been a year since I last said that I didn't read it. So moving on. The next book is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, and it's right on top of my shelf, so I'm not going to get it down. Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, I actually did read that recently, like a couple, 1 or 2, maybe 3 months ago, and I really enjoyed that book, and I can't wait to continue on with it. I think the next book is called The Empress, and then I do believe the third one is called Nemesis. Pretty sure those are the titles. It's hard to keep track of all of the book titles in a series, especially when you have like so many books that you want to read. And yeah, so let's just move on to the next book. The next book I have is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. So this is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I still quite enjoy this cover. I have read it, and that's the end pages. Very beautiful. And there's like a little, my camera's not going to pick it up, but there's a little like embossed image there. And I have read this book sometime last year. I'm not quite sure when I read this, but I did. It wasn't a favorite book of mine, but I did really enjoy it enough to keep it on my shelf and enough to eventually read the next book in the series, which I can't remember what the second book is called. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my radar to eventually read. It's just not like high up on my priority list, so this I have read. The next book, this has like one of those printed on stickers, and it annoys me because I hate stickers on books. I still hate stickers on books. But anyways, this is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So this is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I have yet to read this one. I do own the Six of Crows duology. Crooked Kingdom, I think, is the second book in that. I do own that. Haven't read those ones either because I want to read the original trilogy first. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it because I think it's because where a lot of people loved this book and I started late in fantasy and dystopian. Like, I didn't pick back up reading until like sometime last year or like in the middle of 2018, so I was a little late into like picking these books up. So I have like a fear of like, what if I don't like it as much as what everyone else did, or like I've waited too long to read it. So it's kind of an intimidating book by me, but I do still really want to try it. So I think I'm gonna make this a priority as well to read because it is high up on my priority list or on my TBR list. It's just, I don't know, I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Moving on is a Sarah J. Maas book. I haven't read any of her books, but the one I do own is A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I have read A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's not on this shelf. If you've seen my favorites shelf book tour, then you will know that the two of those books are in on that shelf, so I'm not gonna go grab it because I have read it, have not continued on with the series yet, but it is one of my favorites, so I can't wait to dive into the next book. But so far, only 2 books that I have not read, and I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm impressed with myself. Now let's move on to the next book. Next book is actually on my TBR for this month, for March, and it is Zenith by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. You guys know I posted this few other of my videos. I have read this book. I no longer own, oh, what is my hair doing today? I no longer own that book. I unhauled it. One of those books that the hype was better than what the actual book was, and I bought it. Going into it, I knew that it was either something I wasn't going to like. I kind of figured that it wasn't going to be like a top book of mine because it's more sci-fi, and I'm not really into sci-fi. Now I'm a little more into it. You just gotta find the right book that you like inside that genre, but this one was not it for me, so I did unhaul it. I did rate it kind of low, but I just wanted to support a booktuber, and I haven't read anything by Lindsay Cummings before, so I wanted to give her writing a try as well, and I don't know, it just was not it for me. I did not continue on with the Andromeda saga. I did not continue on with it, and I don't plan on continuing on with it. I am interested to read Lindsay Cummings' other works where it's just her own writing and it's not a co-author type thing. I would like to see more of her work, and if Sasha Ellsberg comes out with anything else than continuing on with the Andromeda saga, I think I would like to dive more into her work, try her writing out alone, but she just needs to find her niche of writing, and Zenith just it wasn't there. So let's move on to the next book. Moving on, I have Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Okay, so the next one is Passenger, and this is by Alexandra Bracken, and I'm still on page 16. My bookmark is still there, so when I go to read this, I'll just start over, like reread those 16 pages. Like I said, when I first started reading this book in that a previous video. I just wasn't in the mood to read it. I wanted to pick up something different, so I put this book down. I just haven't picked it up again. I think I just got to be in the right mood for this book, and that just hasn't come up yet. But I've had it on my shelf for a long time, and I do have the second book, Wayfarer, somewhere on my shelf. So I still want to read this. I'm not letting it go. And then these next two books kind of go hand in hand because it is part of the Shadowhunters. I have the City of Fallen Angels and Clockwork Prince. I have unhauled every book that I own in the Shadowhunters world, and I have officially decided that I'm not continuing on with that series. I think I did read the City of Fallen Angels. I do believe I read that book. I can't quite remember. If I haven't read it, I'm not going to pick it up, and that's like the Infernal Devices. I liked that one more than the Mortal Instruments, but not enough to continue with it. It's just, this world is so big and so complex, and there's so many books in it, and I have heard that the newer books are way better than when it first started, when the world first came about. But I don't want to put my time and energy into it when I know that it's just not for me. I just don't like it. I don't like the characters. Writing is okay. It's not my favorite. I'm just not going to continue on with it. I think if I started reading this when they first came out, then I may have stuck around. I may have enjoyed it even more, but my reading tastes have changed a little bit since reading this series or starting it, and it's just not a book for me. It's like, not every book is going to be for everyone, and this one isn't for me. So yeah, I have officially decided to not continue on with that series. So let's just move right into the next book. This is the last 4 books, and only one of them is I read the first book, and I just haven't read the last few after it. So the first
usually
one
what
is
happens.
Red Rising by Pierce Brown. So this is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I only own the first book because I don't like buying full series anymore, especially if I don't like the book. Kind of what happened with the Mortal Instruments. I bought the whole series before reading it. Didn't like it very much to keep it. Unhauled it all. Luckily I bought those on Book Outlet, so I did save a bit of money. It wasn't a total waste. But yeah, this is Red Rising, the only book I own, and this is a trilogy. I don't know anymore. I have yet to read it. I still really want to read it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and I'm a huge mood reader, so I just haven't been in the right mood to read this. But I am going to put these books that I haven't read yet from this video in more priority, just so I can cross all these books off of my TBR finally. Then the next one is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So the next book I showed was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Another book that I bought because of the hype when I first got into BookTube, or got back into reading, and I have yet to read it. It is something that I still do really want to pick up and read, but again, it's one of those where it's been around for so long, and I started late in the reading game, and I'm now just kind of scared that I'm not gonna like it as much as I would have if I started when this came out, if I read it when it first came out. But I do still really want to read it, so I will put this on my list to read. I was about to say eventually, but I am going to try and prioritize it more like the other books I showed. The next one is Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi, and I have read Shatter Me. The second book, I don't have it on this shelf because it's on my favorite shelf and I still only own the first 3 out of the Shatter Me series. And I have read the first 2. I have read Unravel Me, which is what I'm showing in this video. I have not read Ignite Me yet, and I can't wait to read it. It's one of my favorite books, and if you haven't seen my Twitter, sometime last year I posted a tattoo, and I said that it was like a nod to one of my favorite books, and it's actually this tattoo, whatever. Yeah, so I have read this book. I can't wait to continue on with this series. It's one of my favorites. Like, I got a tattoo to kind of as like a tribute, as it, because I kind of identify a little bit with the character Juliet. Not that I have these like powers and whatnot and super strength like any of the other characters. It's just her mentality of thinking that she is no good and that she's weak and just people don't see who she truly is. I kind of relate to that because my health issues. If you guys don't know, I think I said this in a 25 non-bookish facts about me. I was born with a congenital heart defect. I was born with a hole in my heart. So growing up, going through many different doctor's appointments and tests and scans and all that, I was always told that I wouldn't be strong enough. I'd be too weak. I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I wouldn't be able to have like a normal life type thing. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I enjoy doing. Like, I'm really into sports. A whole bunch of doctors used to keep telling me that I won't be able to do any of that because of my heart. Like, it was holding me back. But I would tell my parents that I will prove them wrong because I am strong. So my tattoo is kind of like Juliet, where I first would say I am weak and it's crossed out, and then underneath it's I am strong. Let's give you like a little close-up of that so you can see it. And it's actually written in my friend's writing. She has really nice writing and printing, so I figured I would get her to write it out for me, and I'm very proud of this tattoo. I love it so much. So yeah, that was a little tangent, but I figured I would tell you anyways because it's one of my favorite books. And yeah, so let's just move right along. Alright, so the next book that I'm talking about is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and this is one of the ones that has like the fake sticker on it, and it annoys me so much. Like I said, Scythe, that is in my favorites shelf, and if you haven't been following along, I have actually finished that whole trilogy. Once I read this book, I read Thunderhead, and then I grabbed The Toll on Audible, and it probably took me a couple of days, like close to a week, not even, to just binge that series. And I rubbed my eye earlier, and now it's very sensitive and it's irritating me. So I just hate when that happens. Yeah, so I like binged that whole series, and I freaking love it. I love Neil Shusterman's writing, and I can't wait to read more of his work. I do believe I have a couple more of his books on my shelf that I can't wait to dive into. So yeah, that is a book that I would recommend everyone to read. It is so good. The writing is phenomenal. It's just a great book. I will say that there were some parts in The Toll that I didn't really care for, but overall the series is fantastic and I freaking love it. It's in on my favorites shelf, and I have yet to buy the physical copy of The Toll. I only have the first 2 books. I believe that was the last book that I talked about in this video. I'm just going to double check and then get back to you. Okay, so those were all of the books, and out of the however many, sorry, my eye is just so irritating right now, and I'm pretty sure I'm like allergic to dogs, and I own a dog, and I was petting my dog earlier. Now I'm rubbing my eyes, so I'm thinking that's what's making it irritated, and also this is just like a bad eye for me. Like, I have a lot of health issues, okay? So anyways, out of those however many books, I'll put the number on screen somewhere. I have not read, oh my god, I can't keep my eye open. I have not read 5 books, so I'm just going to quickly go over these books. So, Beautiful Creatures, sorry, I might have to do the rest of this video with one eye open. Then we have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Like, I don't even have a tissue near me. I just want to do this video in one take, and I don't want to stop recording to deal with this. Then we have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This video is a mess, just like my life right now. And then we have A Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So I'm going to hopefully read those books in the near future. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon to receive any notifications for whenever I upload a new video. Leave any comments, questions, concerns, video suggestions down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.